Hi guys, wanted to hop on here quick and say a few things. I was gonna maybe do a live or show my face, but I woke up with a really bad sore throat. So anyways, I wanted to pick up where I left off last night regarding people transitioning to Kratom. Well, first of all, let me show you my Kratom plant if you haven't seen it. This is one of them. This is Pink Indo. Cool, right? And I brought it in because it's getting cold here now in California, where I live. I mean, granted, we are spoiled. We have like the best weather here, but it does get too cold for kratom plants in California. I mean, by no means is she gonna die, but my mom named her Iris, so. But like that's just part of the plant. And then I have another one too, and that's Super Green Malaysian, my favorite strain. Okay, so people like, it seems like to me, so far like the anti-Kratomites and like some of these anti-Kratom groups on Facebook, the ones who like bash Kratom and say, oh my God, I can't stop, I have horrible withdrawals and da 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 da. Okay, well, my question, first of all, is why can't you taper? I already know the answer to that because they, with all due respect, they're probably ex-heroin addicts. I'm totally not downing you guys. I love you. I have tons of friends. I mean, we have, we're all in the community together. I'm just talking about certain ones where they have like this addictive mentality, and it's like they don't look at themselves. Kratom probably saved their lives and they took it and they no longer take heroin or whatever other drug of choice. I mean, heroin is like the hardest drug there is, right? But I mean, you would think that they would be thankful to the plant, but instead, like, addictive mentality makes a person where it's like they don't look at themselves. They don't look at their behavior. People often just go, they never blame themselves, or they never take accountability for any of their actions. And, it's like they go around pointing the finger at everyone, blaming the whole world, blaming anyone and everything in their surroundings except for themselves. So, a lot of these people, they bash Kratom, and, they just purely for like selfish reasons, because maybe it's not working out for them that well anymore, or I don't know, maybe it didn't work out at all for them. However, that's not the plant's fault. And again, from a medical standpoint, as a nurse, trained, my credentials, all the knowledge I have, the basis for approving a medication or any kind of use for something that's therapeutic or beneficial is the benefits have to outweigh the risk. And hands down, Kratom is that. There's no argument. That's why it just drives me insane how these doctors go around and they bash Kratom. Or I don't even know if some of these people are doctors, but like this one guy, David, he's opening up an ibogaine clinic. I don't know that much about ibogaine. However, he's totally condemning and bashing Kratom as a means to promote his clinic, and that's wrong. So now, anyways, the small minority that may not do well on Kratom, well, that's no disrespect, but that should be irrelevant, because everything on the planet has a side effect. There's nothing perfect. Kratom is the closest thing to being perfect, though. And bottom line is that Kratom alone, when taken alone, pure leaf Kratom, does not cause it. There's no deaths recorded from Kratom alone. Again, something else I was saying, I wanted to talk about is people who transition from hard drugs to Kratom. I think the ones who run into problems and who end up, like just out of control, like who have out of control behavior, are the ones who don't work on themselves mentally and emotionally. And that's really important. Kratom, there's nothing on this earth that should be just a fix. Like you can't, that's, you have to work on yourself. You have to do the work, because you don't want to overtake anything. Use common sense. And if you have, psych issues or like past trauma that you're trying to hide or mask with something, that's not good. That's a dead end. I mean, Kratom is safe. However, I mean, come on, you have to be reasonable. And I mean, anything in this life, you want to take in moderation. You want to respect it and take it reasonably, like with anything else. So I don't know why it would be any different with Kratom. That's what makes me mad too, is that people, they just think, oh my God, Kratom is so safe. Just, okay, I'm going to go take a pound of it. Well, that's not very smart. I mean, I know a lot of people who take really high doses, and I understand if they are experiencing pause and they are transitioning from hard drugs, because, I do understand that they need a higher dose. However, my opinion is that when they transition, that's fine. Okay, you should start at a minimal dose, which is that's what I think you should do, is you should start at a baseline of 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of Kratom. And then if that doesn't work, you can increase it by 1/2 teaspoon, like every couple hours. That's what I did. And, until you find the right dose for you. And of course, please consult a physician. Always, I'm not a doctor. Please always consult a healthcare professional. I want to make sure, everyone is safe. However, okay, now back to my point is that if people do need, really high doses because, they were taking heroin for years, or the receptors are damaged, like I hear from a lot of people who they say, well, their receptors don't work anymore, or they need such high doses. Well, I'm thinking maybe later on, like maybe the first year or so, maybe, yeah, I could see, while you're having withdrawals or whatnot, maybe you do need that higher dose. But I'm thinking, well, maybe you could taper down to a lower dose. Again, I would say just try, and if that's not good enough for you, well, then, stay at a higher dose. I mean, everyone is different, and depending on our conditions, we need different strengths, different doses. Find out what works best for you. But anyways, my point is that I just think that people should make sure that they are taking it for like the right reasons, and they're not taking it, to mask like emotional or mental trauma, that sort of pain. Because, the brain is so complex, and there's so many different lies that we can tell ourselves, or just kind of, it's just important. Like I'm always monitoring myself. Like I always, I like to make sure, okay, well, how, what did I take today? How much, I want to make sure that I didn't overtake something, because that's important to me. It's always important to check yourself, check yourself or wreck yourself. It's so true. But I just think that it's really important for especially people who were abusing drugs, who are transitioning, that they don't just see Kratom as like a fix. And like if they've never gotten therapy for the reasons why they started abusing drugs in the first place, and they just start taking Kratom, I personally see that can be a big problem maybe. And I think maybe that's why why there's so much conflict in the community, and so many people are running into trouble maybe with it, where they took too high of a dose for so many years, and they just kept taking it, and they never dealt with, like, their their underlying issues. And now years later, it's like, well, they didn't put in the work, and now they're wondering why, they're having maybe negative side effects, or Kratom doesn't work as well for them. So I just want to maybe help people. So especially for ones who maybe are thinking about trying Kratom, or ones that just started, because if you take Kratom in the right way and you put in the work, you can take Kratom for a very long time with successful results. You can. Doctors, some of these people who are saying, oh, you can't, like Dr. B, he said, well, someone who's been taking Kratom for 6 months, oh, sure, they're doing great. But someone who's taken Kratom for 5 years, oh, come see me, it'll be a different story. And that's not true. So I'm living proof. I mean, I'm 3 years in, and I haven't had to increase my dose at all. I switch strains, I take breaks, but I've heard other people who just change strains, and they say that is effective also. Just changing strains helps a lot. And something else I wanted to go over is alcohol. Now, I was reading an article earlier today, and it's mind-blowing, the statistics of how many deaths per day happen from alcohol. Over 261 deaths occur every 24 hours due to alcohol. That is mind-blowing. Here we have Kratom, partial agonist, very few negative side effects. It's very promising. It's helping millions and millions of Americans. And by the way, it's scientifically proven that it helps with alcoholism. It combats alcoholism. I have the science to prove it. So, but yet it's not recognized. It's just condemned. Of course, we don't want the FDA to get their hands on it. We don't want, mankind, they just destroy everything. Like, we don't want the alkaloids extracted and synthesized in a compound lab. We don't want that. We want our plant to stay in its whole natural form and free access to all, as it should be. So, anyways, these are my plants, obviously. And then my window, it's really pretty. You look out the window and I have tall pine trees everywhere. So, really thankful I'm so thankful that I found Kratom 3 years ago. And I am going to do an introductory video soon. But, let's just keep advocating for this plant. And people need to stop focusing on the minority who may not, have good positive side effects from Kratom. Again, that's unrealistic for everyone on the planet to have a positive outcome. That's not how life works, But for the majority, Kratom is very promising, and it's saving lives. And it's upsetting and ridiculous how it's overlooked. They can keep overlooking it, but we're not going to go away, and we're not going to shut up. Facebook and TikTok just blocked Misty Brown's video. And she was just talking a little bit about Kratom, how it helps with anxiety and different things, and they deleted her video and sent her a message stating that she was performing illegal activities. That is insane. That is just unbelievable. That's sad, and that's heartbreaking. And that right there is major big red flag that they don't want us to keep talking. However, we're gonna stick together. And like a band of the hand, we're not going anywhere. United we stand. Okay, love you guys. Talk to you soon.